This video will demonstrate how to create a poster in PowerPoint using guides. This requires some planning and a little bit of math, but if you put in the work here, the entire process will become easier. Before we get started, it is important that you have sketched or planned the layout of your poster. For assistance, you can download the Academic Poster Planning Worksheet on the Planning Your Poster page of this guide. First, we create a new blank presentation. Creating a poster in PowerPoint requires thinking about the software in a different way than you may have before. Instead of creating multiple slides, like if you were building a presentation, we're going to use one slide as a canvas for our poster. In fact, I recommend closing the side navigation so that you have more room in the screen for your canvas. I'm also going to change the layout to blank so that I don't have anything on my canvas when I'm starting. Before we do anything else, we must resize our canvas to the size of our poster. We're going to go to the Design tab, to Slide Size, and to Page Setup. If you are presenting this poster at a conference, your poster size should be included in the requirements for submission. If this is for a class, there may be requirements in your assignment. If there are no requirements anywhere for the size of your poster, pick a size and stick with it. I like 2 feet by 3 feet. That'll be 36 inches by 24 inches. This is the reason that we want to size our canvas at the very beginning. We don't want PowerPoint to actually scale anything because that can lead to skewed images and fonts. Keep in mind that 56 inches is the maximum size PowerPoint can create. So if your requirements are larger than that, create the poster at half the size. Printers can easily scale a file up 200% to meet your requirements. It's also a good idea to save your file now. PowerPoint has built-in features that will help you design your poster. Inside the View tab, there are options for rulers and guides. I like to turn both of these on when I'm creating a poster. Customize the guides using the sketch you made on the Academic Poster Planning Worksheet. This requires a little bit of math, so I'm going to walk you through the process for creating a 3-column poster that is 2 feet by 3 feet. My total width is 36 inches, and I will need margins on both sides of each column. Margins give us white space between our content, so that each piece of information on our poster has its own visual space. Looking at my sketch, I can see that I need 4 margins for my 3 columns. A standard size for margins is 1 inch, so I'm going to take my total width and subtract 4 inches for my margins. Now I'm working with 32 inches for my 3 columns. I divide 32 by 3 and get 10.66 repeating. I'm going to round this down to 10.6. I'm going to insert a line onto my canvas, and I'm going to make that line 10.6 inches wide. If you struggle with getting the line straight, click the Shift button when you draw the line and it will correct itself. I'm also going to change the weight of this line and make it red so I can really see it. Using the Align features in PowerPoint, I'm going to place this line in the center of my canvas as a placeholder for my middle column. Drag and drop the guide so that it meets the left side of your placeholder. And then right-click or control-click if you have a Mac and select Add Vertical Guide. And then you're going to place this guide at the other end of your line. This is our middle column. I'm going to insert another line. I'm going to make it 1 inch wide. I'm going to increase the weight. And this one I'm going to make purple, again, so that I can distinguish it. Using the alignment features, I'm going to place my purple line on the left side of my canvas. Now I'm going to use the same process to add a vertical guide, and I will pull it over to the end of my margin placeholder. This gives me my far left margin. Now grab your column placeholder and put its left edge against the margin that you just created. Using the same right click or control click, we're going to add another vertical guide, and we're going to place it at the end of this placeholder, giving us our left column. We're going to use the exact same process on the other side. So I'm taking my margin, I'm sending it to the right side of my canvas, I'm creating a new vertical guide, and I'm pulling it over to meet my placeholder. I'm going to take my column placeholder, do the exact same thing, create a vertical guide, and pull it to the end of my placeholder. So to check your work, you can use this margin placeholder and see if it fits in the margins you've created between your columns. It's pretty spot on, so we are now finished with our columns, and we can delete these placeholders. Now we will add the guides for our rows. I have a canvas that is 24 inches tall, and looking at my sketch, I can see that I need 2 rows for my content. I also have a title and author at the top of the page, and I want 1-inch margins at the top and bottom of each row. I will need 4 margins for my 2 rows of content and 1 title row. I will subtract 4 inches from my total 24 inches to get 20 inches of space for my rows. Looking back at my sketch, I can see that my title row is narrower than the content rows. We recommend using 86-point sans serif font for titles and the same font at 56 points for the author's information. If you have a title that fits on 1 line, make your row 3 inches tall. If your title needs 2 lines, make the title row 4 inches tall. My title is 1 line, so I will be doing the measurements for 3 inches. I subtract 3 from the 20 inches of space for my rows to be left with 17 inches for my 2 content rows. I divide 17 by the 2 rows, and each row will be 8.5 inches tall. I'm going to draw my margin placeholder first this time. I'm going to insert, align, and I will make it 1 inch tall. I'll also increase the weight, and because it's my margin line, I'm going to make it purple. Using PowerPoint's align features, I will move my margin placeholder to be aligned to the top of the canvas. Then I will grab my horizontal guide and match it to the end of my placeholder. Next, I will align the same margin placeholder to the bottom of my slide. Using a right click or control click if you're on a Mac, you will add a horizontal guide and drag it to meet the end of your placeholder. Now it's time to create our row placeholder. Again, I insert, align, and I'm going to make it 8.5 inches long. Also going to increase the weight and make it red. Drag the placeholder to the bottom margin that you just made. Then add a horizontal guide and pull it to the other end of your row placeholder. You're going to do the exact same thing again with this 1 inch margin. You're going to add another guide, and now we have the margin between our 2 content columns. So we're going to do the exact same thing again, pull up our placeholder, create a new horizontal guide, and now we have our 2 content columns. The very last guide we're going to be making is this last margin. You're going to add 1 more guide, pull it up, and there you go. If you want to check your work, you can make your row placeholder 3 inches tall because my title only has 1 line, and you see that it fits. So now that you have all of these guides made, creating your poster is going to be so much easier.